The next report is on page 10, and it's a summer school report. So this report is broken down by credit courses and non-credit courses. So teachers of credit courses and teachers of bridge courses are paid according to the contract rate, while non-credit course opportunities such as band, TV, and camp college are based off of the revenue that they bring in minus expenses, which is very similar to the structure we have set up for athletic summer camps. So while we try to run cost neutral to the district, there was a miscalculation in the courses as we were calculating the final cost, which is why we're a little over budget and not completely cost neutral. We're also still waiting a $200 donation from Riverside for participating in the parade, which will lessen the amount that we're over to $669. We also have a plan in the future to try to receive that money up front prior to participating in the parade as well. So there was a question about, the waiving the $9,700 for student fees and only allocating $6,000 to Title I. And so for the past 4 years, we always allocate the money from Title I so that we run exactly cost neutral, even if those amounts don't add up, because we do generate some revenue from US Gov, for example, and some other courses. So we plan on giving ourselves a little bit of a cushion next year. Unfortunately, we can't go back and correct it and add more Title I money to that because it's based off of last year's Title I money, and that year-end report was already submitted. But we will be mindful of that next year.
So if the revenue is it supposed to be 31,480 instead of 25,480, the total?
Because you're adding, he's adding the 6,000 from Title I, right?
I just.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, if not, there's a mistake in the balance.
No, the 6,000 was not added to the 25. It should have been.
Okay.
Other questions on that report?
I think that's all that was submitted, right?
Correct. And then on page 11, I believe, we have the summer camp report for athletics. So each camp runs cost neutral to the district. There is a $12 fee per camper, which is included in the overall cost for the camp. Of this $12, $5 goes to facilities, $5 goes to pay the trainer, and $2 goes to cover the training supplies. And Scott there was a question submitted about, I believe, the tracking of it to make sure we run cost neutral and what that looks like. So Scott has 2 examples that he'll pass out.
I made 2 examples for the board that I'd like to share with them. These camps obviously are kind of on the discretion of the coach who's running it.
Thank you.
Just get this one first. So I did football and volleyball.
Do we have anything for put on screen?
I do not right now.
This is submitted on Monday, so we're just pulling it together.
All right.
And camp out.
Thank you.
So the sheet on top, Scott?
The sheet on top is the tracking sheet that is submitted by the Assistant Principal of Athletics, who works closely with the business office on making sure that the revenue numbers are correct and the expense numbers are correct. On there, before anything is processed for payment, I double check in our financial software program what the revenue that was generated matches what is on their revenue line on top. The issue with some of the things that come up is the fees are different depending on the camps. So certain levels have $110, say, and then another level maybe $125. So it does vary on the report that you're going to see.
So this is a lot of paper for the board just to receive it from, but more or less, what I asked Scott to pull, the sheet with the boxes is the tracking document that the athletic director and the head coach for that sport use to monitor all their expenses and cross-check with the business office. Like for the volleyball, then you have 8 or 10 additional sheets. That's the school district's DCR program that's in the business office that checks all the checks they received or online payments they received, so that the number on the one sheet is in sync with the number that the district actually has money in hand for.
Yes.
So that you can't, I think the question was just they wanted to make sure that things, when we say they're running cost neutral, that there's a checks and balance system or an internal control system in place that runs the numbers against each other to make sure they're running cost neutral.
Yes.
And so we provided 2 examples. We have actually all this paperwork for every single summer
camp that's out
Okay.
there. You have the rosters, all the camps are filled out online. That was new this summer. The majority, I'd say 95% of the parents that did the camps were more than willing to do the online registration on it. We also had computers available in the business office for those that didn't have a computer. They came in and registered right in the business office on it and made payment.
And so the board is aware, like, one of the things, we give this report that started probably, Gary and Tim could probably help, I would say 5, 6 years ago, but the idea was when I first got here as a superintendent, the summer camps, the coaches were running their summer camps, they were collecting the money for their summer camps, and then, dispersing it accordingly to their coaches. And then all of a sudden, in my first year, we got to August or September, and we had all these outstanding purchase orders. And so we realized that all the money was already collected and spent before anybody paid for the basketballs they ordered, or the T-shirts they ordered, or the cones they ordered. So now we put in place that basically the district sits on the money. They use this cross-check sheet, and it works through Scott in the business office and the athletic directors. And then we only pay the coaches out once, and that's in August or September when we verify that all expenses have been paid and all PEOs have been closed. And so the question, as I stated earlier, was just showing that we have 2 separate records, so the money that we're collecting in the business office reflects what's on the sheet.
Thank you.
Okay? Good job, Scott. Were there any other questions on summer camps? Scott? Nope? Okay. Do you want to